I was trying to save this powder for our summary, but I think one of the things you're really bringing, I think, is critical here, and also I'll probably repeat it at the later time, is this idea of visibility. One of the things, particularly with the reverse agile scaling, and it's part of the agile culture in general, but it's really important in reverse agile scaling, is making all this visible. Too often, this trade-offs, this angst, this stuff is visible to the team, but it's not visible to the cross community of product owners. It's not visible to the director level. They're not seeing this. They're just issuing, hey, we need this, and everything else is being hidden from them. We're working with a client right now who has an executive who never saw that mess and thought, oh, I just know that when I ask for something and they give me an initial level, they always meet it. They never saw what they were doing under the covers to make that happen. So there was no visibility. And so now they've got this really bad way of running projects because they thought it worked. And so making that stuff visible. So what are the trade-offs that are not being made? What are the prioritizations that we have? What are the team working on right now? What kind of utilization rate are we having? I don't mind someone sitting idle for a little bit of time if that increases my throughput of value. Right? I'm much more interested in delivering value than keeping everyone busy. Now, usually a good product will have everyone busy, but I'd rather deliver value. So are we making all that visible all the way up the chain, or are we hiding it? That's what so many teams are good at. They hide it and say, oh, we may do. Well, okay, but we survived. But what's going to happen on the next product, the next thing that comes out? Are we going to have to keep fighting for survival, or can we make it visible so we actually, people say, because let me back. I think people make very good decisions when they know what they should be deciding.
Well, this gets back.
Interestingly enough, one of the things I often end up talking with these teams about is looking at things like a cumulative flow diagram, which you can look at regardless of whether you're Scrum or Kanban. And one of the big things we look at is backlog growth compared to delivery. And often what you'll see with these teams is the backlog is just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And the team's ability to deliver does not mean that it is keeping the backlog growth flat. You can actually really look at it and see you're just piling work on this team. Right. And they do not have the capacity to get the amount of work you are asking for done. Your lead time here is just going to continue to grow.
Right. And it's not about hiring more people necessarily. It's really about saying, can we get them moving from working on multiple things simultaneously, which delivers nothing and doesn't lower the backlog of features. Well, I'll use and I'm using Jenny's version of features, lowering that back, or are we trying to get one thing done, another thing done? Because that's how you really get a backlog done, is getting things done, not starting lots of things. Donald Reinerstein, we've had